All right, bang bang! What's going, guys? Doing an exciting edition main event. Talkin Hands. This is host Preston. I'm my host Danny Betts. We break down this weekend's main event action and recap, of course, the big pay per view fight that happened last week. This week we're going to touch on the Chisora versus Wallen fight. Like I said, it's not really in the thumbnail or description below because it's not really a huge fight, but we have to recap the fights that happened last week. We're going to jump right into it. First off, we're going to start off with the main event. David Benavidez got the job done, wins a decision as predicted here on Talkin Hands last week. Dang, thoughts on the fight as a whole, Benavidez's performance, and I won't say rumor has it because it almost seems confirmed. Benavidez will fight the winner of Better Be of Bivol 2.
Yeah, hopefully that happens. That's gonna be another huge fight. This fight was awesome, man. It started faster than I thought.
Yeah,
It started way faster than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a little bit slower in the first couple of rounds. And like it was just two warriors, man. We knew that Benavidez was gonna be too much volume for Morrell to win rounds. So it was gonna be tough for him to win a decision. Like the only way you try to get like a knockout or something, I didn't see that happening. Even though he got knocked down late,
yep,
but that was more off balance. And if you see that their feet got tangled up at the same time he threw that punch, and it was like he hit him like in the arm, so it was kind of like a push punch. So it's kind of like, is it really a knockdown? I didn't think so, but shout out to Dabby Cab, my boy. Hopefully I see you in March. I'm trying to make it, so it should be a good time like always. But yeah, great fight. Hopefully we see that huge fight with Benavidez or Bivol, the winner of that fight. It was a win-win. I said that in last week too. I'm like, I could definitely see this fight like Benavidez wins pretty clearly. It wasn't like a blowout or anything.
Yeah,
but Morrell does good enough that he gets respect out of other fans, and they find out who he is and things like that, and it worked out perfectly. Like he won, even though he lost the fight, but he still won. Got recognition, did good. Actually buzzed a little bit Benavidez during that fight, just a little bit, because he was doing good with the counters, really good with the counters, and things like that. And it was kind of a wash because after that knockdown. Fucking Benavidez, you could tell he was pissed. So he went super volume, got Morrell to the ropes, started throwing a lot of volume, and then he hit Morrell right when the bell rang.
Yeah,
and at the same time, Morrell threw a counter right after the bell and caught him, and that hurt him, bro.
Yeah.
So they took a point, so it was kind of a wash. So, but a great fight though, great fight.
The one thing that surprised me was Morrell actually threw more punches than Benavidez at the end of the fight, which was quite shocking. I definitely thought if that was a bet you could make, which I'm sure it is, that I would have bet like the house that Benavidez is.
I would have lost, yeah. If I would have did like a same game parlay or something.
Yeah, yeah. But obviously Benavidez landed more punches than Morrell, and that's kind of how that worked out. But yeah, I thought it was a good fight. Morrell did actually hurt him. I think it was round 4 or 5, countered him against the ropes, kind of the same thing what we were talking about. But it's just the volume of punches that Benavidez throws. If anything, to me, Benavidez's stock went up as well after the fight. I thought that was the best he looked, pure, pseudo-pure boxing so far. And he's definitely gotten better and better each fight. I know you were on stream last week with T, shout to Ron. I don't know if I won't say he's a Canelo hater, but
big time. He
definitely does not think. Which we'll get to later. Canelo, who knows who he's fighting next? But Canelo and Benavidez, which is a fight everyone's talked about for years now. So we'll see if that fight ever manifests. But yeah, I thought overall great performance. Benavidez got the job done. Won the decision. I think it was Von Polo last week in the chat. Loved the fight to go the distance. He said that for the parlays. I feel like everyone was pretty spot on with this fight with their read and the line. We got, I don't want to say lucky, but the Benavidez line shot up to like 280, 290.
Oh, yeah. I see him 300.
Yeah. So it was good. good performance. And one thing that stinks, it opened like 150 and then just kept moving up. So
Yeah, it's hard to get that line, that early line. It gets smashed every time.
yeah. Speaking of an early line, we'll go to the co-main event. This line moved like crazy, and it didn't matter. Figueroa loses the decision to Stephen Fulton. Fulton outboxed him pretty clearly. Yeah, it got. I think we did the show. It was 180. I want to say by fight night it was 250, maybe even crazier. And yeah, Fulton looked good. That was definitely a much better performance than the last fight. I know. I think you were talking about the recency bias and whatnot. What was your thoughts on the fight, Danny?
Yeah, your mic's acting up a little bit, but I can still hear you. But yeah, dude, I was just sitting back. I was just sitting back and waiting, bro, because everybody was on Figueroa. The line kept going up. I'm in like two boxing chats, group chats and stuff, and Twitter, and they're all sharp guys. Like obviously you're gonna get some wrong. I'm not perfect, obviously. But everybody was saying the same thing. Figueroa's gonna knock him out. Figueroa's gonna get his revenge. He's gonna easily outpoint him. He's gonna win. And I'm looking like, bro, he's gonna outbox the shit out of him. I don't know what you guys talking about. He won that first fight. It was close, but he won that first, and he's the one that can make adjustments. But they started feeding into like the other extra stuff, like, oh, he looks like he's not like me personally. I don't really feed into that stuff. Oh, he don't look like he doesn't want to be there. He doesn't. He hates interviews. He hates all this big stuff. He's said it before. Like he don't. A lot of fighters don't. And he's always been like that, super calm, collective, like, you know what I mean? So I just knew he was the better boxer, not even close. And the funny thing is, if you saw his outfit,
Yeah,
I thought it was
and
fucking.
like the Timberlands.
It was so hilarious.
Yeah.
First thing I said was, he ain't losing. He is not losing with the Philly swag like that, bro. There's no way. So I went even more on it by decision. And a lot of people say this, but a lot of rematches don't it's not the same as the first.
Yeah.
And I agree with this one. I'm like, he's gonna clearly beat him in my opinion. So I bet the unanimous decision plus 500 too, because I thought it was gonna be a clear win for him, and that's exactly how it happened, man. But yeah, shout out to him, man. Got more belts in a different division. And yeah, you look great. You look good. He looked like back to normal.
Yeah, Figueroa just like can't move his head, and if he can't,
He's so sloppy, bro.
yeah, the way he chases the opponent in the ring and doesn't like cut the ring off. He wasn't really going to the body.
Yeah.
He looked horrible.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to tell people. I'm like, Fulton has way more ways to win, bro. Like, he's Figueroa's one dimensional. That's it. That's all he does.
Yeah.
That's all he does, literally. Like, that's the only way he could win. And then I'm like, it's just a bad matchup because he could find the inside, outbox you from the outside, and I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah, I think it was more a case of which I don't want to like talk too much with the UFC. How like now people are saying, "Oh, Adesanya's shot." Like I felt like that was the narrative with Fulton going into the fight. Obviously, does not seem to be the case. Moving to that fight, fight of the year contender, Isaac Cruz beats Angel Ferrero decision. Boy, you would need a baseball bat, maybe a machine gun, something to knock Ferrero out, because that guy was taking big-time punches, big-time punishment to the head and body. Maybe Cruz's power is diminishing, or just Ferrero's just a really tough guy. Dan, what are your thoughts on this and future matchups for Cruz?
First of all, that was a hell of a fight. One of the best fights so far this year. Like, it was nuts. It was just true Mexican warriors just going at it. And like you said, Ferrero was super tough. I've seen him hurt. It's funny, one thing I said last week, I'm like, I got to go back and retape some of the fights of Ferrero. And I noticed two fights that I saw recently, he was hurt to the body. Bad. Survived and won the fight. But I'm like, man, that's gonna be bad with Pitbull. And he did get hurt. But at 140, man, I don't think, like, Pitbull's power is not the same. Like he's not a 140 pounder, bro. Like he's small. Even though Ferrero's not the biggest either or whatever, but one thing that I know Pitbull is another guy, Pitbull too. You need a jackhammer or something to knock this dude out.
Yeah.
Like he got a little bit hurt late in the fight, but it was like nothing. These two warriors were going at it. Great fight. I thought Pitbull edged it out and won. Close fight, but I thought Pitbull won by a couple rounds. And yeah, it was just one of those fights. I was standing up. I'm like, these guys. I'm in my living room, just like going crazy. Like, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was definitely more of a case of again underestimating the opponent, maybe probably by journalists or media in general. Because yeah, he took a lot of punches. He was landing clean too on Cruz a lot. So yeah, it was a great performance for both guys. And I think Ferro's stock definitely moves up. My worry though is I would not, if I'm Cruz, I don't think I want to take a Ryan Garcia fight because I think Garcia would beat him pretty badly. But just my opinion, if that fight were to get made. That being said, first fight of the pay-per-view. Here's a guy, he's got to take a break. Jason Rosario. He's been in war after war.
Yeah,
this was, I don't want to say a setup fight for Jesus Ramos, but Ramos to get the win, the KO. I think the prop was like minus 300. Ramos looked good. Hurt him round 7. I think he dropped him. Finished him round 8. Standing. I know there was a little bit of protest by Rosario. I would not protest that. He was getting hit hard and a lot. So Ramos got the job done, and future looks pretty bright for him at 160. Danny, thoughts on that one?
Yeah, talking about that, he was saying he might go back to 154, which is fine. I think he'll do better at 154 in my opinion. But yeah, Rosario's pretty much done. I got luck. Well, I kind of got lucky, and then I got like bad luck. I had round 7 plus 950. So he got the knockdown, hurt him bad late in that round. And I'm like, oh, come on. So, but there wasn't enough time. But I had 7 to 8 plus 500 anyways, and he cashed in the 8th. You know, the ref, which I was okay with. You could have, like, the ref stopped it, you know, TKO'd standing up. Because he was taking a lot of punishment. So the ref kind of saved him. You know, but, like, it was just too much. Like, I knew that was a horrible matchup for him, and Ramos was going to be too much and too much volume. And he's more, like, he has power, but it's more accumulation. So, but, yeah, good performance for him. He needed that win. And I don't know what's next at 154. I mean, there's a lot of matchups for him. So, we'll see. He's always in exciting fights, too. So,
yeah, good young fighter, and I really hope Rosario takes some time off because when he fought Hurd and he couldn't really do anything to Hurd, I was like, well, this guy's like done. He's like toast. So good fight, good card overall, good pay-per-view overall.
Yes.
And we got another pay-per-view coming up early March with Tank Davis. That being said, I want to move right into some boxing news. The big boxing news to talk about is Canelo versus Jake Paul, ? Because from all indication, that's the fight that's going to be made in May. Canelo Alvarez is going to box Jake Paul Cinco de Mayo weekend. We know that's Canelo's favorite holiday. He fights every May pretty much. And Jake Paul's looking for a big payday off his Mike Tyson win, which going from Mike Tyson to Canelo Alvarez sure is something. Danny, early initial thoughts, or do we think it's a legitimate fight, an exhibition, or what are you thinking here?
I mean, I don't know officially, but I'm assuming it'll probably be legit. Just because, Jake Paul is a boxer. Like, he's on BoxRec. He's got the record. All his fights are official. So I don't see why not. I mean, it depends on them what they're trying to do, an exhibition or whatever. But if I had to guess, is maybe I don't know. I really don't know. It's probably
well. What did Paul weigh against Tyson? Tyson outweighed him, right?
They were pretty heavy. If I don't remember. Let
me look at their weights.
I don't think he outweighed him because Cause
227,
yeah,
and Tyson was
Paul's a big dude.
228.
Yeah, Paul's a big dude.
So this is crazy. So I mean, we can touch on
It's gotta be an exhibition. There's no way Paul's going like to one.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
170.
So is Canelo gonna let Paul weigh like 200? Canelo he has to weigh like 175 because he's gonna fight Crawford in September.
Yeah, he can't go too much.
Yeah, and he has to cut. That fight's gotta be 168 max.
Yeah.
Because Crawford ain't gonna fight above 168.
So yeah, talking about that, it'll probably be like an exhibition type. If I had to guess, just because that weight, I don't see Paul. There's no way Canelo's going up that much weight, and Paul to cut all the way down. That's a lot.
Yeah, unless he's just there literally to get paid, which obviously he's gonna get paid a stupid check. But if he drains himself, Canelo's gonna knock him out in the first round with a body shot. It's gonna be bad for him. Yeah, just interesting. Kind of crazy is this news came out of the blue. I'd want to say yesterday. I've seen more traction on it today. So I think it's real, but we don't know any details about weight class. Obviously, it's going to be a pay-per-view, but, what's going to happen. Just crazy because Jake Paul's called Canelo out a lot. And I always thought it was like a joke, but apparently it's being made.
If that really happens, bro, Jake Paul got to fight Benavidez, Canelo first than Benavidez.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
people are gonna be so mad.
It's smart on Jake Paul because he doesn't want to fight David Morrell and then get killed by a guy who no one really knows.
Right.
People know Canelo, so smart business tactic by Jake Paul, but. Man, it's goofy. This is goofy.
Man, if you had told me this 5 years ago,
right when he knocked out Nate Robinson.
Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah. Like the Tyson thing, even though I didn't like it, it made sense because Tyson's an old guy.
Yeah, he's super old.
Yeah, and obviously Paul wants the win on his record, but this is wild. This actually has me. Because I was pretty headstrong with Canelo against Crawford. This has me a little worried.
Yeah, I don't... See, this is the type of fight you take, literally, one of your last fights if you're going to retire. You know what I mean? If I was Canelo, you're going to fight Jake Paul right before you fight one of the best pound-for-pound fighters, too, in September. That's not that far away from May, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously this is easy work, but I'm just saying, I don't know the details, the weight cutting or whatever, and hopefully he doesn't get a stupid cut or something,
Right, yeah.
Headbutt, things like that. But it's risky for sure. But hey, you gotta risk it for the biscuit, right? They're gonna be paying a lot of money for that. So.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be. Everyone and their mother's going to talk about it.
It's because of all the different audiences, the haters for Jake Paul, the haters from Canelo, the Mexican people, all the fans from Canelo, the YouTubers, and everybody for Jake Paul.
Yeah. All those Twitch people, they're infiltrating. Wrestling? I was seeing it on the pay-per-view. They had the. I Show Speed was at the Royal Rumble getting speared by one of the wrestlers. What is going on? This is crazy. These influencers are just taking over. So, it's just interesting fight. Then, of course, I want to touch just with the other news. The bout agreement, I believe, got signed. Canelo's fighting Terrence Crawford. I know we talked about it, I want to say last week or 2 weeks ago, but finally sort of made official. I think it's going to be at 168, like we talked about. And this is arguably the best fight that could be made in boxing. What are you thinking on that, Danny?
People still won't give Canelo credit. This fight is crazy too, man. We've been so spoiled the last couple of years now with boxing. I love it. It's hard to tell, though, how Crawford's going to be at that weight. You know what I mean? That's a big difference, bro. That's a,
Yeah, and he won against Madrimov, but he didn't look, like crazy, like holy shit, like look at Crawford go type thing.
yeah.
But Madrimov's a tough
But
opponent
we
too.
talking about and that weight is official. I didn't even look at it. 168.
I mean, that's where it's got to be. Like
Right,
they're
that's what I'm saying. So you're going from 154,
yeah.
which that was your first fight, to 168, bro. Like, and I know Canelo technically is not the biggest guy either, but he's been at those weights for years, for a long ass time now.
Yeah, and I mean Canelo's fought 175 multiple times.
Yeah, like
Yeah. It's
I just we'll get to the breakdown whenever that happens. But that's one thing I want to see. But the fight in general, I love it, bro. That's a huge fight.
yeah.
Can't wait. I definitely want to watch that one. I don't care what haters say or whatever from either side.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect fight for Crawford. Crawford definitely seems like I want to say he's nearing retirement, but he only wants big money fights. He doesn't want to fight random guys anymore. So perfect fight for him. And yeah, Canelo's not a young buck anymore, so he's trying to get everything he can.
Yeah.
So
I mean Crawford too.
yeah,
Crawford's actually a little older. So.
yeah. I love the fight. Love the fight. That being said, we're going to touch on this week's fight. There's really only one, and I don't like either of these guys. I felt like I've gotten burned with Otto Wallin like twice, and Chisora. He just beat Joe Joyce, and Joe Joyce is basically like dead to me because he can't like win a fight anymore. So current odds at FanDuel. If you guys need a book, please use FanDuel. Use our code in the description below. Click the link. Bet $5, you get $200 free in bonus bets. Use FanDuel if you can. Current odds have Otto Wallin minus 230, Chisora plus 180. Fight goes the distance minus 170. Chisora KO plus 500. Wallin KO plus 210. Wallin decision plus 145. Chisora decision plus 330. Danny, do you have a strong opinion on this fight at all in general?
We're hardcores here, so we gotta talk about any boxing that's going on right now. But this is like Chisora. So I think this is his last fight.
I was gonna say he's old as hell.
I think he already kind of announced it, or he's like leading up to it. Like he's talking about like he's gonna definitely cry on the walkout or whatever. Things like that. So we just saw him have a big upset against George Joyce, which was big. The guy's entertaining. You gotta say that. But so yeah, check out the interviews and the face-offs, the one-on-ones with them is hilarious because Walden is so different. Like he's super quiet, nice dude. Chisora's nice too, but he likes to talk shit, play mental games. Like it's hilarious. So check those out. It's pretty entertaining. But Chisora, flat-footed. This is gonna be quick. Flat-footed, heavy hitter, big power. He's had a lot of wars, a lot of fights, a lot of experience. So he's been there, done that. Walden, good southpaw. He can box. He has some power, but he's got pretty decent movement for a big guy. He's gonna be the bigger guy here, taller, more reach. What I like about him, he's got a good volume, but one thing I do notice is like when he gets touched up, then that volume goes down. He's trying to be a little bit more cautious. For me right now, I'm leaning. I'll be honest. I'm not even gonna. I might bet this. It's not even 100% sure. I'll give it out to my Patreon if I do or whatever. But I'm leaning Walden by decision.
Yeah,
I think he outboxes him pretty, clearly. But Chisora can make this interesting because he knows that Walden is not. He doesn't want to be in a brawl. And that's exactly what Chisora does. So, if he could turn this fight into a brawl, inside game, just rough him up, push him to the ropes, he could get him out of there. But another thing is, if he does that, I could see him gassing late, and Walden could get a TKO late in this fight, 9-12, But I'm leaning. I think Walden's just going to outbox him pretty much to a 8-4, 7-5 decision, in my opinion. But yeah, this might be actually a little bit more entertaining than I think, or we think, because like Chisora knows this is his last ride, and he's in there trying to kill this guy, and Walden's trying to outbox him, So there's gonna be a clash of styles and things like that. So, but yeah, I'm kind of favoring Walden to win by decision in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, if you like Chisora, to me, I would just bet the KO. He's not going to really win a lot of minutes or rounds in this fight. That's how he won the decision. Somebody won the decision over Joyce because he hurt him multiple times.
Yeah,
I think Wallen is a little more defensively sound, where he's not just going to eat punch after punch, and he's going to move his head. He's going to move around the ring. I like the Wallen decision if I were to make a bet on it. Funny, I don't know if it's not really funny enough, but it's actually only a 10-round fight, so
yeah,
it's pretty quick. Yeah, I like Wallen decision here. I think he's a better fighter. I think he's still young. Got burned on him against Joshua, but Joshua hurt him bad, and then he was just like out of whack, like
yeah. He caught nasty with the
immediately.
right.
Yeah, once that happened, he didn't really fight his fight. He's still a really sound technical boxer, has good wins, fought Tyson Fury tough back in the day. I just think he's the better boxer. So if I were to make the bet, it would be Wallen decision. You can get that at plus 150, plus 145 on FanDuel right now. So I like that. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, I'll probably just do that and like hedge a little bit, like not hedge, but like sprinkle around 9 to 12. I mean 9 to 12, like 7 to 8, 9 to 10 for Walden just in case.
Yeah, because I don't think Chisora is gonna come out there and get like stopped early. Like,
No way. I'll be shocked about that.
Yeah, I think he's gonna swing big punches, try to hurt him, and then if he can't hurt him, I think Wallen will be content with piecing him up. Kind of like we see it happen all the time. It just happened. Rosenstruck fought Pavlovich, where it was the KO was minus 250.
Yep.
He wins the decision because he didn't want to hurt the guy. And these retirement type fights, they never want to hurt him.
Right.
So
exactly. Plus, Walden's not like a huge puncher either.
Yeah, that too. It's a very sort of safe fight for Chisora to take, where he won't take a bunch of punishment. He was originally going to fight Big Baby Miller, then that fight went through. I don't know what happened.
You talking about Chisora, right?
Yes.
I was so look. I know that fight is not like big or nothing, but that was gonna be entertaining as hell, bro.
Yeah.
Because just the interviews and the press conferences, two guys that talk shit like crazy. Oh man, I wish that would have happened. Yeah. They would have been going at it.
And honestly, Miller's looked better against.
Yep. I had him against Ruiz, man.
Ruiz,
They tried to rob me, bro. They tried to.
Yeah, so he looked better. Actually, honestly, it's good for Chisora because I think Miller would have knocked him out. But interesting fight. This is really the only fight we have this week, so had to touch on it, like you said. Next week we have three good fights, actually.
A lot of fights.
Finally, Jack Catterall's back. Prograis, I think, fights next week as well. I just saw they announced the undercard for the Prograis Duarte fight.
Yep.
And Keyshawn Davis.
Keyshawn Davis, yeah.
Keyshawn Davis returns. All that being said, if you guys could, leave a like. Drop comment down below. Your thoughts and predictions. Tonight, tune into Locker Room Talk Podcast. They're doing UFC 312. Tune into the live stream this Saturday for UFC 312. Closing thoughts, Danny, anything you got? I'll say best bets, but you don't really have to give anything, if you don't want.
Yeah. Best bet, but go tread lightly. Walden by decision. That might be like a half a unit or unit for me. Actually, there's a big underdog I like on that card, so I might bet him. We'll see. I know one fight fell off. I don't know why, but I think the Coleman event, Woody Hutchison and
Parker.
that fell off. Yeah. But there's a couple of decent fights on that card. But yeah, check me out, Danny Betts with 2 Z's everywhere. I'm always posting my UFC bets on my Twitter X handle. Got one big bet on a big underdog. a 5-unit play on one of the championship fights. So check me out on Twitter, on my Patreon, Danny Bets with 2 Z's for all my boxing. Next week is gonna be heavy. I'm going light this weekend, but next week there's a lot of fights, so I'll probably have a lot of action. And on Saturday, live for the UFC fights, we're gonna be on the stream here on Pub Sports Radio. Check us out. It's always a good time. You don't get here. I try to act a little professional. The stream, we have fun. Try to get live odds and with debates, and we argue. It's a good time, drinking, whatever. So check us out. Give live bets and things like that. Last week we cast on some live bets too, so it's always a good time.
Yeah, and of course Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, Eagles,
Chiefs, baby.
Yeah, so
my birthday Friday, so this weekend's gonna be lit.
Yeah, so honestly, you're pretty far away. I was gonna say make the trek back to New Orleans, but
you know how much those tickets are gonna be like?
Oh yeah, I won't go to the game. Just hang out.
No, I meant like the flights and hotels and stuff. Crazy.
Yeah, probably.
I would love to go.
But
I had a blast.
Been shit. Yeah.
I had a blast when I was over there. So imagine the Super Bowl. Oof.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild all week down there. For me, best bet. I agree. I think Wallen's going to win decision. Kind of boring fight by him. Obviously, Chisora is going to make the fight as much as he can. But I think Wallen's just the better boxer. So Wallen by decision for me. For my best bet, coincide with what Danny said. Tune all the live streams Saturday, big UFC stream. We're doing a Super Bowl stream. If you guys need live action on the Super Bowl, obviously the guys will give you live action on the Super Bowl. And please drop a like down below. Comment down below your thoughts. Jake Paul Canelo. If you like Jake Paul, you got to tell us in advance.
Jake Paul money line, baby.
Yeah, 10 units on Jake Paul. You got to tell us because I think you're on some good drugs if you like that. All that being said, we'll be back next week for 3 fights. The big fight we're going to talk about is Arnold Barboza, Jack Catterall. Got to dig into it, but maybe Catterall's reign of terror finally ends. That being said, see you guys next week. This is Main Event Talkin Hands. Peace, guys.